No disrespect to any other games, but this is the turkey dinner of the Thanksgiving Day games this season. Miami Dolphins on a 3-game win streak, looking to get back to even Steven for the year.
And this Miami offense starting to flex.
In Green Bay to face a Packers squad that's won 6 of its last 7.
Touchdown again, number 3.
Both these teams dominated their Week 12 opponents too, both offenses putting up 34+. Packers 8th in scoring on the year after hitting San Francisco with 38 last week.
Jacobs is in! Touchdown!
This could be quite the feast then. Dolphins 34 points back-to-back weeks, 27+, 4 of their last 5. Gotta be a big enough bird for seconds and thirds.
And he bowls his way in for the Miami touchdown!
Offense is what it was intended to be with Tua Tagovailoa, 4 touchdowns last week, a 128 rate, 7 touchdowns over his last 2 games, no picks.
It is target practice for Tagovailoa.
Packers counter with Love. That's how you make the world better. Jordan makes their offense better, 2 touchdowns last week, no interceptions, rating over 100, back-to-back 100 rate games for Love.
It's a rout officially. Green Bay up 38-10.
Neither defense was up against a quarterback on their level last week. Miami's secondary took care of Drake May, sub-80 rate, just 6 yards per attempt, 1 touchdown, picked him off.
Forces May to get rid of it, and you see the result.
That brought their rate for 2024 into the top 10. Dolphins defense finding some traction overall too, have held teams under 20 points 3 straight games now.
May hit, football is loose.
Packers chewed up Brandon Allen Week 12, picked him off, just 1 touchdown, sub-80 rate.
High throw, he's picked off.
Their rate for 2024, same as Miami's. They've held their own versus quarterbacks in general, and look at that. Their defense, 1 slot ahead of the Dolphins, holding teams to 20 points per game, have held their last 2 opponents under 20.
Allen sees it going deep, and it's incomplete.
They have Tyreek, OBJ, and the Penguin to chase around this week. Waddle, the star last week, 144 yards and a score. Isn't into the Waddle anymore, though.
Gets it to Waddle, full acceleration. Touchdown!
OBJ, 0 yards. Hill, 48.
Tyreek Hill shot out of a cannon from the line of scrimmage.
Jonnu Smith, 87 yards and a TD.
It's Jonnu Smith taking on tacklers.
Packers did give up a score to George Kittle, 82 yards, and they've allowed a 119 rate 2 tight ends. They handled San Francisco's receivers well, and they've been one of the toughest against wideouts this year.
Debo, he's only had 1 catch today for 21 yards, hasn't had much of an impact.
Green Bay's catchers of balls didn't need to put in much work against San Francisco. Phrasing is dead, Archer. Jaden Reed, 26 yards. Dontavian Wicks, 25. Tucker Kraft, 26 and a TD.
Throws it to Kraft and he does the rest.
Leader last week in yards, Romeo Doubs, 54.
Guns one. What a throw to Dobbs.
Dolphins secondary have held tight ends and wide receivers to rates under the league average so far. They'd take another 4-bag day if they could pull it. Dropped May 4 times. They don't have a lot of sacks in 2024, so that's a mini outburst. Zach Sealer, Chop Robinson, Emmanuel Ogbah all in on the action. They have guys who can bag it.
And the nightmare for New England continues.
Love took 2 sacks last week, has been hard to reach in 2024 in general. Tua, same kind of deal, took 2 last week, not usually an issue. Green Bay pass rush he faces, 2 QB takedowns Week 12. Luke Van Ness, Rashawn Gary, he leads them with 4.5. They've got a mid-sack total for the year.
Sees it, steps away, and now he's taken down.
Finally, on the ground, the Packers stuffed CMC, held him to 31 yards, 2.8 a run. They get Devon Achane this week, who scored twice on passes Week 12.
A Sunday walk into the end zone.
Didn't do much as a runner, though. His counterpart, Josh Jacobs, comes in off a 3-touchdown outing, 106 yards on the ground, 4.1 a run, 75 rush yards, 5 straight games now.
He'll get it. Jacobs, chug it in.
He's up against a Miami rush defense that held New England to 85 yards, didn't face many runs. Their play versus running backs through 12 weeks average. Dolphins, Packers, Green Bay has beaten them 5 of the last 6 games. Miami leads 10-6 overall, though, having won the first 8 games they played. First time the Chiefs beat the Fins, not until 1997. Little Marino versus Favre action, 240 yards for Dan, touchdowns, 1 interception. Brett, 250 plus yards, 2 TDs, 23-18. Packers finally on the board versus the Dolphins.